I'm Ana Carolina Zeri. I'm from Brazil. And I studied in public schools all my life. And after getting a bachelor's and a master's degree in physics in Brazil, I was accepted into a PhD program here in the US. 9 years later, and getting my PhD and a postdoc, I went back to Brazil and was one of the few that made the return trip. And now I'm one of the principal investigators at this Brazilian Biosciences National Laboratory located in Campinas, the same site where we have the first synchrotron source in the southern hemisphere, and we're building a next one. However, just a few kilometers from that, there are thousands of people living in slums, or as we call them, favelas. They are these shacks that people build right next to the big shopping malls and gated communities, and these people are living like in a permanent refugee camp situation, right there, right next to us, right next to the big electron accelerator and the big NMR machines I take care of. And that's really scary when you think it in a global scale. This is happening everywhere. And for the kids, it's particularly hard. Think about it. There's 1 billion kids living in poverty nowadays. That's every second child in the world. We need to do something about this. And the situation is especially bad for girls in these places. Just last year, Campinas, that's my city, registered 1,500 births to teen moms aged 10 to 18. And our 2010 census listed over 47,000 kids as married. And that's between 10 and 14 years old. That's unacceptable. And we have stunting, we have all the problems you can imagine right there in the middle of the city, in the middle of the big city. So I wanted to do something about this. I wanted to do something for these girls that could change that situation. So we need to consider when we're thinking about these billion kids out there, whose minds are we wasting? There's potential for big and nicer moonshots that can change the situation in the world, if only they had the voice and the chance to show what they're doing. We could be talking about changing school as a way to get them through that, but we don't really have the time. There are lots of great minds working on this right now, but we need to act now. These kids are growing up as we speak. There are great movements around, and Malala is a great example, just nominated for the Nobel Prize. And there's all these numbers showing that we can have a huge impact if we just concentrate on educating girls. And we need to start early. There's great movements like Girl Rising and other numbers from the International Labor Association showing that if a girl stays in secondary school, for each year she stays on, there's a potential increase in 20% on her earnings. And this can have a great impact in her communities too, because women tend to reinvest up to 90% of their earnings into their community. So you educate a girl, you can take a whole family out of misery in a few years. But how do we do that? How do we empower them to want to change? How we need to give them time and spaces to play, to be girls, to be able to develop all these things. Adrisi here is telling stories. She's a 7-year-old girl I know, and she needs time to play with that. She needs to be worried about this and not getting employment as a maid or taking care of kids of her own. So what's missing? We talked about changing school. We're not going there. And we're coming up, you in this room are coming up with awesome solutions. But it's not working yet. They're not reaching everybody. So something's missing. And what's missing? What's missing is us. And like Ara said, citing Buffy, the vampire slayer, we are more powerful than that, than all evil out there. So we need to get involved. And that's something I started doing in Campinas. This is my local solution. Thinking about what if we could share, we as scientists and technologists and entrepreneurs, we could share some of our own insights. We could share with them what we're doing and help frame this aha moment when they look at something through a microscope, as simple as this one. I work with these USB microscopes that get to up to 140 magnification. And you can see lots of things with that. You can open their eyes. And it's a very simple tool that makes a huge difference. So what I did was I joined hands with this local NGO in Campinas that does activities with these favela kids. And they reach about 300 kids in the city. And what I did was I assembled a little science playground there for them, a little lab, just a 2x2 room with a sink and some shelves. And I brought these microscopes in, and I spent time with them every week. I spent a day a week there for the past 2 years, and I've been showing them things, and they've been training to show all this same things to other people. And we're trying to expand it locally. I'm joining hands with United Way Brazil, which is an NGO, that worldwide NGO that helps people in companies to volunteer to do things with kids. So we're joining hands with people from 3M in Campinas, and we're going to train there some people from the companies to reach out kids in schools. But how can we expand it even further? And that's my X. I want to create this global science playground, because this is important. We all know how important it is to have that insight there. So what I propose is that we create this web-based community. I don't believe that there's many people like me that would be spending time there, but all of us could donate a little bit of our time in this web-based community to hang out with these girls and help them answer their questions and think about life in a different way. And I propose that we focus initially on water and public health, because this is a very important problem for these people. They live by rivers and the side of mountains. They're the first ones affected by the global warming effects. There's water and sewage running through their bedrooms and things you can never imagine. I want to join hands with the likes of Iberê Tenório, that has this site called Manual do Mundo. He just puts videos on the web teaching kids how to do things. And his latest one, where he teaches kids how to make rain gauges out of PET bottles, had 50,000 views in the first 2 days. Now imagine this. If we could teach kids all over the place to collect data on rain levels and connect them with scientists that are doing this with real rain gauges and can help them understand what it means, you get this enormous amount of data available, and these kids will be empowered by knowing that they are contributing to big science, to problems that are relevant to them. But more than that, this thing needs to be playful. It needs to be addictive. We need to rely on the power of great tools out there like Foldit and Eterna, with thousands of non-specialists playing in this. So we need to find a way to make it exciting and addictive, and that's something I don't know how to do. I'm working on a local solution, and I need help to expand it. And it could be like we need to create new heroes. Like we have this math Olympic games in Brazil, and there's kids that are 10-year-olds and getting all medals. They need to be the new celebrities in this network. We need to get them showing what they're doing and that math can be cool. And we can create contests to produce videos, all sorts of things. The tools are already there. And so it's not something that it's not a huge breakthrough proposal like other moonshots you're seeing, but we're relying on what's already there. Our brains, their brains, and the technology we're developing. We're hearing about awesome solutions on connectivity and power, so we will be reaching all these people in the future. We just need to give the proper tools for them to work this out. And this can have a huge impact on girls specifically. If we connect these 13-year-olds, they're at an age where they are getting into a crisis of their own. It's a great time to rescue them and teach them and make use of their natural networking power and the nucleating power of these girls. And then connect them with the networking power of the scientists. And then we work out to produce a super network effect. It's not one person. There are solutions popping out everywhere. We're not reinventing anything. We just need to connect everything that's there and connect them through these girls. I think it's very important. It can have immediate impact. I'm telling you. These girls are growing up as we speak, and they don't have much. They don't have many options for them. For many of these girls, getting pregnant is a pathway through life. We need to change that. And the time is now, and we need to be part of it. So will you join us?